I just did the absolute unthinkable. I bought a bag of fake Lego. About a year ago, last August, I had my first real taste of fake Lego when I bought a fake race car set. 6 months later, in February, I bought a knockoff Lego minifigure covered in slime, which was an absolutely horrific experience. And here we are, 6 months later, in August of 2022, and I bought it again. I'm going to be buying fake Lego every 6 months because this is my third time buying it every 6 months. But since we kinda already established that fake Lego is bad on this channel, I wanted to do something a little bit different. First off, I gave myself a $5 budget, which I went over by $1. This thing was $6 the whole haul. But more importantly, I didn't really want to buy a set. I wanted to buy parts and minifigs to build my own MOC. I kinda consider myself to be a fairly decent MOC builder, and I do have a big MOC coming soon this week. So I'm going to be trying to build the best MOC possible with $6 of knockoff Lego. This is going to be a very hard challenge, and I'm honestly not really sure how I'm going to take it on, but you'll just have to stick around to see. I think we'll start this off as sort of like a haul video because I did get a fair amount of stuff in the bag here. First off, I got a small box of knockoff minifigs. This was apparently a dinosaur theme box, whatever that means. I have to find out if these figures are any good or not. I'm honestly don't really have very high expectations for these, but we'll have to see. Since I wanted to build a MOC, I figured I need something to build it on, so I built a small, found a small base plate at the store. They were only in brown, so I could only get a brown knockoff base plate. This is just a brown 16 by 16 base plate, so nothing too much there. I also got a bag of white knockoff bricks. This looks like it's about 48 pieces of just bricks, because since I'm building a MOC, I obviously need parts, and so I thought this would be the best solution. Not a ton going on here, just some fake parts. I was about to walk away from the aisle. I found whatever this is. It says it's supposed to be a dinosaur, and it has this little mosaic on the back that implies it really is. So I guess I got a dinosaur? I don't even really know what this is going to be, and this is honestly what I'm super curious about. And last but not least, probably my favorite thing that I got is this roll of tape, which is basically tape with studs on it that I can attach to my wall, which just sounds amazing. So we're definitely going to put this crap to the test by hanging a Lego set on it later in this video, but yeah, I was just super curious about this stuff. But without further ado, let's go ahead and unbox this crap and get building. I started by unboxing the box with all of the minifigs in them, and all of the boxes and everything were just like incredibly hard to kind of take apart. I used a knife, and there wasn't really any like tape I could cut to really get any of them open easily. So I kind of had to rip this entire box to shreds in order to get to the minifigs inside. The one good thing I can say about these minifigs is that they actually came pre-built. All the other fake knockoff Legos that I've had in the past came where you had to build them themselves, and these came pre-built. That being said, these minifigs look very strange, especially like how big the guy's forehead is. Like there's basically no room up, like their legs and arms are incredibly stiff and very hard to move, and they overall just don't look amazing, but they're definitely better than the other knockoff minifigs that I've had in the past. Like they're not absolutely horrific. They're just not good at all. As I mentioned before, they only had brown 16 by 16 base plates there, so I had to get a brown 16 by 16 base plate, and it came packaged in this really really hard to get open plastic. The actual base plate reminds me a lot of Lego's ones, except you can actually see where it got snapped off from like a mold or whatever, which is just a little bit strange. And there's something about the back of the base plate that also just looks really different than Lego's one. And of course, like any fake Lego, it just feels cheap. Like if you bend it or really touch it, you can immediately feel that it's just cheap plastic. It's fake Lego. I also got a bag of white parts, but a lot of the parts were actually like yellow and kind of different shades of white than all the other pieces. Like they were all different from each other, and it was super weird. And then I found a part in the pile that actually has stuff printed onto it. Like it is wild. I don't know what the heck this is. It has Greenbrier International ink and then a really long code of numbers, and it just baffles me like what the heck this is. Like it must be where the parts are made or something. It's just very strange. And we have the 10-piece $1 blue dinosaur chicken nugget thing. The 10 small blue pieces come all bagged up, and it has instructions on what really feels like copier paper. Like the paper quality is like really just weird. I didn't know what was up with it. And last but not least, we have the Lego stud tape, which is kind of rolled up in a little circle. It came with a small piece of paper kind of stuck on the bottom of it, so it wouldn't really get stuck to itself, and it is as you expect. It's very like wobbly. It's weird. Most flexible fake Lego I've ever dealt with. with. And after the unboxing and unpackaging, it was time to get building my MOC. The only rule I had with this is that I had to use every single piece that came in here. No piece left behind at all, and that is exactly what I did. And after 5 minutes of building, I was left with this. This is what I was able to come up with only fake Lego. I just tried to build a house, but I didn't have enough pieces to build a roof, so it kind of ended up just being like a little bunker for her to hide in. And I take complete responsibility that this is easily the worst MOC I've ever made on this channel. Like, it's absolutely terrible. At the front of the bunker, we have the Greenbrier International Inc. sign. I just felt the need that this had to be proudly displayed in front of the bunker because it's obviously owned by Greenbrier International Inc. I had some extra white slabs, so I ended up using them as small little stepping stones right up to the bunker. I ended up putting one of the figures in the bunker, and she looks surprisingly happy to be running from her life from a chicken nugget dinosaur. The bunker itself is, of course, heavily protected on all 4 sides, unless, of course, you come in from the front where there is a massive hole for her to get in and out. And to the left of the bunker, we have the chicken nugget dinosaur. I cannot get this out of mind that it looks like a chicken nugget dinosaur. Like, it does. Like, you cannot tell me that this is not based off a chicken nugget. Really not sure what Greenbrier International Inc. was thinking with this one. Like, are people actually gonna collect these little things? Like, I really just don't understand how this even looks like a dinosaur. We have the massive forehead man just running straight toward the chicken nugget dinosaur. Like, he is not afraid to take this thing on. He is going to defeat the dinosaur. Old Dino Nugget does not stand a chance against his massive forehead. And across from the bunker, I built a small bench where we have the third and final figure who looks like she might be flipping somebody off. Like, if her fingers could move, like, it looks like she's doing that. Now, that's all for the actual MOC, but you might be wondering, what happened to the flexible stud tape? Well, we're going to test it out. So I slapped this sucker onto the wall, and while I did get a little bit misaligned the first try I did it, it does in fact stick to the wall pretty well. So then I was like, hey, why don't I stick my bunker onto the wall? And so that's what I did. I kind of just pushed onto the studs, and it was actually staying up surprisingly well. Then I started to get real cocky with myself, and I'm like, hey, why don't I stick this 600-piece Lego Architecture Skyline onto the wall with a $1 piece of essentially tape. And what happens next just kind of blows my mind. It took a few tries of kind of pushing it down stuff. At one point, it kind of started to separate from the actual set, but eventually, I got it to the perfect balance where it stayed on its own. And man, was I happy that this $1 tape was supporting this $50 Lego set on the wall, just like hanging. Like, it blew my mind that it just stayed, like, it stuck there. It was wild. In the wise words of my grandmother,
chances are, if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is too good to be true.
Literally, as I was filming the outro, it just slipped off the tape suddenly and fell completely on everything and basically shattered. I slowly realized I spent $1 on Lego tape only for it to destroy my Lego set. Thankfully, after about 10 minutes of hard work, I was able to repair the massive damage that had happened in San Francisco, and I'm very happy to report that it is in fact alive and healthy, although it's neither of those things. I was gonna say for $5, this thing might be worth it. Like, you get 3 minifigs and all this other stuff for $5. But it destroyed my $50 set, so now I'm back to hating fake Lego, which I think is a good thing. Thank you guys for watching this super fun video to make. I honestly had so much fun making this video, and yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed watching it. The Seabrook Productions sign for now. Make sure to like and subscribe, and stay clear of fake Lego. Peace out.